welcome back to the parcel drop. It's Monday and we have a full IKEA bag, which schoolboy error for myself to film this on a Monday because the bag's heavy, but we move. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Weekend of sales for me. I'm going to talk about it a bit. Just over £400 of sales on eBay. Some on Vinted as well. Vinted's been performing well recently, but let's get into today's topic I want to speak about. I am in eBay jail. What does eBay jail look like, you may ask? Okay, so account health is super important. I've always spoke about that myself. I always keep my metrics high when it comes to things like late deliveries. Always make sure my cases are closed without eBay having to step in. The worst one you could probably do on eBay is to allow that to not close. And yeah, I'm in jail because, well, let's talk about it, because it's easy for me to blame eBay, it's easy for me to blame other people, but I need to look at my own self. So the reason I'm in eBay jail is the item not as described level on my seller rating isn't very high. Reason being for that, with clothing, you get a fair few returns. I would say, apart from electricals, clothing is probably up there as the highest return rate that I know on eBay. So you expect it, you know, a lot of does not fits. But I've received recently, well, not recently, in the last 3 months, a lot of items not as described. Now, I look at the list, 15 on the list, by the way, so a lot. And I look at that and I think to myself, okay, I always ask myself, was it my fault? Because that's important as well. It's okay to blame eBay, blame the customer and all this stuff, but sometimes we mess up, okay? Sometimes we don't notice a rip, a stain, or anything such as that. Anyway, so I go through the list and I start spotting loads that, just crossing the road, start spotting loads that actually aren't my fault. Things such as Halloween costume was ordered. It says XL on the bag, in the title, in the drop down, in the description. The message comes through saying that her husband's a medium and this doesn't fit him. Returned it as not as described. Anyway, I can go through the whole list and, you know, at the end of the day, it could all be my fault. I could just be making it up. So what does it matter really? But what matters is I didn't deal with it straight away. So where I'm on top of the other things in the business, the metrics I spoke about at the start, I should have been on top of these metrics as well. And truth be told, I wasn't. So what you need to do, if there's a full sign ad, you have to report to the buyer and you have to put a case forward to eBay, which, yeah, I've probably become a bit slack of doing that, to be honest with you. So my fault. It's not eBay's fault. My fault, I'm in jail. Anyway, so what does the punishment look like? I am now having to pay an extra fee on every single clothing sale because they punish you for the category you've got the very high ranking in. So every sale now, I'm being charged an extra, I think it's something like 4%, don't quote me on that, on every single sale, which is shit. When will it fall off? It's on a rolling 3-month period, I believe. So I think February it will come off, but it's still not nice. When you make a sale on eBay, you're paying them the fee, you're paying the promotion if you use promoted listings, and then you're having to pay an extra fee as well. It's just not a nice situation to be in. So I felt at the start of the year, eBay was punishing me for some reason. My sales have been really slow. I put it down to the fact that I wasn't consistent listing at the end of the year last year, which would make sense. But I actually worked out the reason is, I'll tell you after the bridge. The bridge was busy today. Lots of people crossing. It's actually school drop-off time, so I'm not surprised. Anyway, so the eBay jail for me was not because of dropping off. Well, it might have played a part, but I believe it was more because of this. And I didn't notice until Thursday last week when I had a sale and I looked at the fees, because the fees are back, and I said to myself, why are these fees so high? I looked and saw the thing in there. So keep an eye on it, by the way. You might not notice you've gone into it. eBay have not emailed me or anything, so just keep an eye on it yourself. So yeah, that plays a part, I believe, why eBay sales are down. Spoke to the eBay reps, not very helpful at all. Basically said tough shit in a way, which is a bit like, okay, I'm a business seller, top rated, what about all these protections? Anyway, I'm not blaming eBay, it's my fault. You have to take responsibility for your own actions. So, what have I done since? I've reported these to eBay. Some of them I couldn't report because it's over the 90 days, but I think I reported 5 of the false ones. And out of the 15, as I say, there was probably 2 or 3 where it was my fault, so let's see. Reported the 5, and funnily enough, eBay seemed to feel like it switched on Friday, day after I reported these. But they haven't come back and said they've been removed yet, so who knows? Who knows what's going on? So yeah, eBay jail sucks. Do not go in eBay jail because eBay punishes you. Where Vinted hasn't punished me yet so far. I've seen loads of things about in Vinted's terms and conditions, they hide your pro listings. I've had really good sales on Vinted, so I'm not going to talk about that today because it hasn't affected me, which is good. I still find it weird sometimes, like walking past people when they're in mid-conversation, like talking. Strange. We'll get used to it. It's cold here today, freezing. I came out without a jacket, braving the cold, but carrying this bag and walking in the cold, I feel a bit like out of breath. Other things, I spoke last week about having to go for more blood tests. Went in, had the blood tests, came out. Nurse was like, I'm only here to take the blood. And she goes, if there's anything wrong, we'll let you know. If there's not anything wrong, you won't hear from us. Brilliant. Any time scale on that? No, we'll just text you. Great. So waiting game, but yeah, this year's got off to a good start. I feel really positive about this year, and hey, look, we're only, what, 14 days into the year, 15 days into the year? I don't even know the date today, 16 days maybe, who knows, but things are looking good. eBay, although it's been slow, I had some good sales on there. Vinted's been great. Vinted has been a real game changer. Vinted has actually saved me these first couple of weeks, so that's good. And yeah, just trying to be more positive this year. I know sometimes the walk and talks, I feel like I come back and I'm like, I overshare and all I ever do is talk about the bad things, but it's not all bad. In fact, it's going really well. People look at me like I'm a weirdo. I'm going to get used to this vlogging malarkey. I think the more I do it, the less I care really, but people drive past like, you're weird, strange. So yeah, overall it's been a good start to the year. Still loads of improvements, still want to get better, still trying to figure out the sourcing because I'm going out every day at the moment. I want to find more suppliers, I want to find more contacts, makes life easier. And the good news for you guys, well, maybe not good news for some of you maybe who have been asking for it, I'm going to do a walk and talk every day this week. It's not going to be forever, maybe, who knows, but yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. But we've arrived, it's parcel drop off time, let's go.